Hello, fellow pirates, and welcome back to Dreadlock Gaming. Season 3 started a couple days ago. A lot of new stuff's come out. Well, I've got this build that I like using. It's fun, holds its own very well. Kind of a new powerhouse. Not the best, but I'd say one of the best builds that I've seen. Haven't really lost a fight in a hostile takeover with it. It is a flooding build, and it is a Brigantine. Let's go over the build real quick. And we're using the Brigantine because it is a DPS ship. It has Bullhorn. Increases ramming damage by 45%. Gains additional speed while pursuing enemies within 300 meters. Increases flooding weapon damage by 20%. And deals 20% more weapon damage on to flooded targets. Which means you're going to hit real hard. Headstrong. Increases damage from ramming based on current speed capped at 80%. If the target is flooded, deals an additional 7,000 damage when ramming. That's nice. Improved speed. Deep blue is always good. Let's get into everything else. Weapons. We are using 1,000 Years Monsoon all the way around because of Deluge. 25% or 15% chance to deal 2,500 severe damage. This chance increases to 30 when the target ship is flooded. Flooding 20. Or flooding 2, 20% damage as flooded damage, and explosive. And Leopold 3. We're using the Leopold 3 because it is a flooding mortar. Flooding 2, plus it has blast, so 15% more explosive damage, and 50% in a 50-meter blast radius. Sorry, it's early. Now, armor. It's a PvP build. Black Prince. And we use a Black Prince because of resolution. 40% damage reduction when you're below 33% health. Major furniture. We're using the rigging station because below 20% health, you heal for 1% per second, which makes you pretty hard to kill whenever you've got Black Prince and rigging station combination. And then Bombard Minosaur for that 10% bombard damage. Bombard Works for another basically it's 19, but basically 20% secondary damage, which is going to be explosive and flooding. We're going with Density Furnace. That is a new one that you can purchase from Rama. Costs 1,000 blue opium. Increases charge rate of flooding status on a target by 8%, increases duration on target by 8%. We're also going to use the lead kettle. Increases duration of flooding effect on an enemy by 10%. So, the longer that flooding status stays on, the longer you have the ability to do an additional 20% on top of the original 20% with flooding weapons. And we're going to use the Spirit Locker because it just gives you more brace, more armor, and less brace being used whenever you have a status effect. So, that's the build. Let's see if we have somewhere that I can go fight somebody. We do. And there's somebody that's in it. So, we're going to wait a couple of minutes, and I'm going to go fight somebody for Pimby. Now, I do recommend using a brace and brace reduction food. Something along the lines of the Michuzi wa Kaharibu. It is, if I'm not mistaken, made from the thylosaur meat. It is great. 20% more brace strength, reduced stamina consumption when you brace, increased stamina regen, so that's good. Now, the key to this build is you run in, you charge them, you ram them, drop their armor, and then flood them like crazy. Now, let's go over this build a little bit more. The weapons purchased from the black market with Sovereign. Leopold 3. You can craft it. Blacksmith. Black Prince. The only way to get it right now is either from a legacy chest or you can craft it. It's expensive to craft though. It takes some of the new stuff. Rigging station. Black market. Legacy chest. Bombard Minosaur you can craft. The Spirit Locker comes from the Black Aria chest. The Density Furnace, like I mentioned before, is a blueprint from Rama, and you can craft it. The Bombard Works and Lead Kettle are regular basic furnitures that were released in Season 1 and can be crafted at the Carpenter. So that's where you get everything. This build is a pretty good build. I've had some fun with it. I don't think I've lost using it yet. Its time to kill is pretty quick, depending on who you're fighting, depending on what you're fighting. Some tankier builds, it just depends. So, let's see how much time I have left. Oh, it started. Let's grab my food. Now let's head over there. See what we can do. They are in a bark, so severe damage is not going to stay on them. He's going to run, so we're going to go the opposite way. Tight quarters fighting here. This would be a much better fight out in the open. You get a ram on them good. They're turning. we go. It's a good build. You don't need a lot of damage reduction and stuff. Let's get him before he can heal back up. Got him again. It is a fun build, a very fun build to play. All of that flooding damage can do a lot. You gonna come back in for again? Another one? Yep, he's coming back in. And we won a takeover just like that. And he was ahead of us when we started. Again, this is a severe damage build. If they are not in a bark, you will put lots of severe damage on them. You notice he's still got a lot of severe damage, and he's been healing it because he's in a bark. 2 kills with severe damage on a ship that is not a bark, and he would have been down at maybe having only 20% of his life bar that wasn't severe damage. So this is a great build. It's a very fun build to play in PvP. There are better builds out there, but I felt like this was one that I needed to share. I love this build. I came up with this pretty much the first morning that the Season 3 was released. And I have had a lot of fun with it. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching Dreadlock Gaming. Keep an eye out for more Skull and Bones videos soon. I will be doing more build videos. I have a build that I am going to use whenever the dragon first comes out. I'm going to do a video on that soon. Hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment. It helps the algorithm. Also, check out my friend over on Banished Souls Official on YouTube. And come join us on Banished Souls Discord. Links will be below. And remember, never give up the ship.